Arrest killers of Brigadier General Udo Query. Sarab urges the Pabio to reverse Natasha's suspension. NGX records first gain in March. The DR Congo government offers 5 million bounties to rebel leaders. Arsenal plans talks with Osimhen. Singer Ira Star joins Hollywood. Morrison Media Group holds her 2025 anniversary lecture with the theme, The Imperative of Private Broadcast Media in Sustainable Development, on Monday, 10th March 2025 at Dimeji Bankole Banquet Hall, Gate Place Hotel, kilometers 5 East-West Road by Obirikwere Flyover, Rumusi, Port Harcourt by 11 a.m. The keynote speech will be delivered by Professor Tony Iredia, an erudite scholar and broadcast mogul. And chairman of the event is Professor Umar Pate, President, Society of Nigerian Broadcasters, and panelists, including Chief Author Kalagbo, Information and Communication Expert, Dr. Harcourt White, DK Lecturer, Public Relations Officer and Communication, Dr. Bekwele Lawrence, DK Lecturer, Marketing Communication and Public Relations, Opaka Dokubo, Chairman South Zone, Nigerian Union of Journalists, and Susan Serekara Nwikana, Chairperson, Nawaj River State. Dr. Chinyere Igwe, Chairman, Morrison Group, is the chief host of the event, which promises to provide a new vista in the broadcast industry as practitioners from far and near in public and private sectors are billed to attend with many activities. River State Police Command is questioning the leader of the Port Harcourt-based Dynamic Flame of Fire and Miracle Ministries, Prophet Umueke Miracle, following complaints from his wife, Success Miracle. It was learned that a police team brought the pastor to the divisional headquarters at Sani Abacha Road, GRA Phase 3, Oroagbolu, Port Harcourt, on Sunday afternoon, and the cleric's invitation by the police remained unclear. As the State Commissioner of Police, Olugbenga Adepoju, said he was yet to obtain full details of the case. The Commissioner of Police confirmed that the case involved complaints from the cleric's wife, whom sources alleged had been locked in the house for some time, and when asked about the reason for the cleric's arrest, the Commissioner of Police insisted that he needed to be fully informed about the facts first. Meanwhile, Source Deputy Director, 6th Division Army Police Relations, Lieutenant Colonel Donna Danjuma, he said in a decisive operation at Ogbonga Forest in Bonny Island, local government area of River State, troops destroyed 10 illegal refining sites, 15 cooking pots, and seized 2 massive reservoirs stocked with over 70,000 liters of stolen crude. They also recovered 1 heavy-duty generator and 3 tanks filled with over 10,000 liters of stolen products, as well as a 200-meter-long hose used for siphoning crude. Similarly, around the Oloma General area in Bonny Island, 3 suspected oil thieves were intercepted with a wooden boat carrying over 10,000 liters of stolen products. At Karakama, troops destroyed 4 illegal refining sites and 4 boats, confiscating over 9,600 liters of stolen crude, while in another operation at Rumukursi, Elelenwo in Obiakpo local government area, 4 GP tanks disguised as a bakery were discovered, containing over 9,500 liters of stolen crude. Operations extended to Bili and Kumbumfari creeks in Degema local government area, leading to the destruction of several illegal refining sites and the seizure of over 9,000 liters of stolen products. At Egbochia in Ogba, Egbema, Ndoni local government area, Troops dismantled an active illegal refining site, seizing a large metal oven drum, hoses, and a reservoir containing over 6,000 liters of stolen products. Two serving commissioners in the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission have reportedly resigned from their positions. The affected officials are Professor Simeon Emenike Welly, Commissioner in charge of political parties and monitoring, and Dr. Lasberry Inyebuchi Nna, Commissioner in charge of budget and research and statistics. They announced their resignation in separate letters addressed to the RSIEC chairman, retired Justice Adolphus Enebeli, and the Secretary to the State Government, Tammy Danagugu. In their letters, the commissioners cited the current situation within the RSIEC and the recent Supreme Court's judgment, which nullified the October 5, 2024 local government elections conducted by the Commission as reasons for their resignation, and also referenced ongoing developments within the Commission, stating that the circumstances compelled them to step down from their roles. The commissioners expressed their gratitude to the Commission for the opportunity to contribute to the growth and development of Rivers State. This is coming after RSIEC announced August 9, 2025 as a new date for the state local government elections following the annulment of the October 5, 2024 election by the Supreme Court. Fashion designer Lawrence Edobo was beheaded by suspected ritualists at about 2 a.m. in Evobotubo, Benin City. The 43-year-old was said to be coming home from a burial he attended before he was murdered and beheaded, an incident which left the community in shock. A resident who pleaded anonymity said the deceased was a well-known fashion designer who owned a shop in Eweka in Evobotubo. The Edo State Police Command spokesperson Moses Iyamu in a statement confirmed the incident and the arrest of one of the suspects, Owade Arebuwa of Igbinudu Street, Evobotu headquarters. While condoling with the family of the deceased, the Commissioner of Police, Betty T. May, assured them and the General Peak that command would not rest until everybody involved in the heinous crime was brought to book, and also advised young persons to seek legitimate means of making money rather than venturing into crime. Religious leaders have cautioned the Anambra State Governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, for going against preachers who use loudspeakers in public spaces, particularly markets. The governor accused the clerics of causing noise pollution and public disturbances, and warned that loud preaching at market squares disturb traders and would henceforth attract a 500,000 naira fine. The governor, who was addressing traders believed to be at Ochanja Market in Indonesia, said, "You cannot come to a marketplace and disturb everyone." But the governor's statement attracted criticism from some religious leaders and Nigerians on Facebook, who saw the pronouncement as a move against religious freedom and the preaching as a constitutional right. In his submission, the International Secretary of the Ecumenical Synod of Bishops, apostles and senior clergy in London, Archbishop Osaze Williams, described the governor's move as an attack on the body of Christ. The Archbishop also highlighted the social impact of preaching in public spaces, especially for people who might be involved in criminal activities. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde says the people of the state determine who succeeds in 2027. Makinde made this declaration by a statement through the special advisor to the governor on media, Dr. Suleiman Olarewaju, that residents of the state would decide the destiny of the state by choosing his successor. He said he will reveal to the citizens the individual he will support to succeed him as governor and will help to ensure that the state continues on the trajectory of sustainable development and transformation. Residents of OC community in Akure North local government area of Ondo State are now living in fear following the abduction of a farm estate owner, Olarewaju Oyeleye, and his manager. The gunmen invaded the farm at the weekend and abducted the two victims few kilometers from the Akure airport. A family source who craved anonymity said the gunmen had made contact and demanded a ransom of 100 million naira before the victims could be released, adding that the Akure airport axis has become a dreaded area as criminals, particularly kidnappers, have turned communities in the area into choice spots for their operations. While confirming the incident, the commander of Amotekun Corps in the state, Adetunji Adeleye, said operatives had been deployed to rescue the victims and apprehend the kidnappers. Meanwhile, following the latest incidents coupled with incessant kidnappings in the area, residents of Akure North, particularly in the Obaile, Oshi and Eleye war axis, have been gripped with fear and tension. Kwara State government has directed all residents to register with the Kwara State Residents Registration Agency to enhance security and economic planning. A statement by the press secretary to KWSRRA, Abdullahi Baba, said Governor Abdul Rahman Abdul Razak had mandated the registration, which would provide residents with a state security identification number and card. The state has recently captured all government workers and pensioners in its database, while highlighting progress in efforts to build a credible residents register. The government said the initiatives are crucial for security and economic planning, while urging residents to support it for overall well-being and data-driven governance. Federal Capital Territory Police Command has arrested a high-profile suspect linked to the assassination of Brigadier General Owen Harold Udokwere, who was killed at his residence in Lokogoma, Abuja, on June 22, 2024. Counter-insurgency expert Zagazola Makama revealed on his X platform that the suspect, Al-Kazim Mohammed, who is 18, was apprehended alongside his alleged accomplice, Suleiman Abdullahi, who is 22, during a coordinated operation by the Scorpion Squad at Durumi Phase 2, Abuja. Makama said law enforcement officers recovered the Beretta pistol with breech number 58866 and additionally, the suspect confessed to the March 7, 2024 murder of Alhaji Awal Abdullahi, a Bureau the change operator who was killed at room 303 Rita Lorry Hotel, Gaki. The same pistol recovered from the suspect was allegedly used in an armed robbery targeting a point-of-sale operator, Ms. Mercy Alo in Jabi, where 700,000 naira was stolen. The gang also reportedly shot a customer, Daniel Inalegu, in the lower thigh before fleeing the scene. The suspects are currently in police custody and are expected to be prosecuted upon the conclusion of investigations. Adamawa State resident Tahamado Jonathan Damian, 34 years old, has been arrested for allegedly kidnapping two reverend fathers of the church he attends. Damian was picked up by operatives of the Adamawa State Police Command for kidnapping two Reverend Fathers, Abraham Saman and Matthew David Dusami of Catholic Diocese Yola and Jalingo, respectively. The command, in a statement signed by Police Public Relations Officer Suleiman Ngoroje, said the search process leading to the uncovering of the suspect started last month. Ngoroje said the command carried out coordinated rescue operations in an particular criminal hideout situated at a remote side of Gweda Malam village, connecting parts of Noman and Demsa local government areas, and the suspect was apprehended and now taken into custody for discreet investigation. He also said investigation so far had led to the recovery of one locally fabricated assault assault rifle and handsets and SIM cards. The police said the command had also successfully rescued the two Reverend Fathers unhurt and no money was paid as ransom, but that they had to be taken to hospital for medical attention. Federal government has taken over the General Hospital Kumo in Gombe State, converting it into a federal medical center. The newly established Kumo Federal Medical Center becomes the second federal medical institution in the state, following the Federal Teaching Hospital in Gombe, which was previously a medical center before its upgrade. According to a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, on Sunday, said the move aims to enhance healthcare services in Gombe State and the Northeast, particularly in addressing poor maternal and neonatal mortality rates. Nigeria Police Force in Kano State has launched a manhunt for 5 unidentified hoodlums who attacked a family, robbed their home, and gang-raped a woman in Tansanyama village, Tansanyawa local government area. The incident was also confirmed in a post by security analyst Zagazola Makama on his official X handle on Sunday. According to intelligence sources who spoke to Makama, the violent attack occurred when the armed men stormed the residence of 50-year-old Mutaka Malam, and following the attack, the victim was rushed to Bichi General Hospital for medical treatment. In response to the incident, the police have sent detectives to the crime scene and intensified efforts to track down the perpetrators. You're watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break.
Board, management and staff of Morrison Media Group presents the 2025 anniversary lecture of Atlantic Television Network and Wish 99.5 FM. Theme: Imperative of Private Media in Sustainable Development.
Keynote speaker, Professor Tony Iradia, erudite scholar and broadcast guru. Chairman, Professor Umar Pert, President, Society of Broadcasters, Nigeria, and Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Kashiri, Gombe State. Panelists: Chief Honorable Arthur C. Kalabo, Information and Communication Expert; Dr. Haka Tuwait, Lecturer, Public Relations, Media and Communication; Dr. Bekwele Lawrence D.K., Lecturer, Marketing Communication and Public Relations; Opaka Dakuba, Chairman, South Nigerian Union of Journalists; Susan Serakara Nikana, Chairperson, Nawach River State; Chief Host, Dr. Chinyere Igwe, Esquire, FSM, FIMC, FNIMN, MNIM, ARPA, MIPPA. Chairman, Morrison Group. Date: 10th of March 2025. Venue: Dimeji Banquet Hall, Gay Place Hotel, Kilometer 5 East West Road by Obirikwere Flyover, Rumosi, Port Harcourt. Time is 11 a.m.
Call Kehinde Paul Obofadi on 0802 301 5728. That is 0802 301 5728. Or info@atlanticnetwork.tv or info@wishfm995ph.com. You can also call Laurentia Ogu on 0818 344 6746. That is 0818 344 6746. Or lead content at atlanticnetwork.tv. This is signed by management. The board, management and staff of Morrison Media Group presents the 2025 Anniversary lecture of Atlantic Television Network and Wish 99.5 FM. Theme: Imperative of Private Media in Sustainable Development.
Keynote speaker, Professor Tony Ibedia, erudite scholar and
Welcome back. This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has called on Senate President Godswill Akpabio to immediately reverse the suspension of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Serap described it as patently unlawful and a violation of her right to freedom of expression. This is coming after Natasha was suspended for 6 months last week following allegations of speaking without permission and refusing to occupy her new seat in the Senate chamber. Her salary and allowances have also been withheld for the duration of the suspension, and she has been barred from identifying herself as a senator. In an open letter dated March 8, 2025, signed by Serap's Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare, the organization warned that it would pursue legal action if the Senate President fails to comply within 48 hours. Serap argued that the suspension infringes on Akpoti-Uduaghan's constitutional and internationally recognized right to freedom of expression, citing Section 39 of the Nigerian Constitution and Article 9 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. The organization maintained that the Senate's action is both unlawful and disproportionate. The organization also criticized the Senate for undermining the right of the people of Kogi Central Senatorial to effective political representation, stressing that the suspension of Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan has restricted and seriously undermined the ability of the residents of her constituency to participate in their own government, the letter read. Sarap urged the Senate to reinstate Akpoti Duaga and amend its standing orders to prevent undue freedom of expression, and warned that failure to act promptly would leave it with no option but to seek judicial intervention. Bill seeking to establish an independent authority for registration, regulation and funding of political parties passed its second reading in the House of Representatives. The bill, which was co-sponsored by...
In accordance with the provision of the bill, the registrar of political parties established under Clause 29 of this bill shall oversee the registration of political parties, merger of political parties, regulate the funding and the use of political parties' funds. Secondly, the bill seeks to establish the political parties dispute tribunal under Clause 35, which shall determine dispute between members of political parties, dispute between members of political parties and a political party, dispute between political parties, between independent candidates and a political party, dispute between coalition partners, and appeals from the decision of the registrar under this bill. Conclusively, Mr. Speaker, the credibility, health, and well-being of every democracy are hinged on the effective regulation of the political parties. Therefore, to ensure transparency and stable democracy, it cannot be business as usual for political parties and key actors where anything goes.
Julius O. Ibovberi seeks to enhance environmental restoration, resource management, and international collaboration. Honorable Francis Wave represented a synopsis on behalf of the sponsors during plenary on the floor of the Green Chamber.
Ensure autonomy in decision-making and protect national interests through sustainable resource management, environmental restoration, and international collaboration, and for related matters, HB 1968, to be read a second time.
House of Representatives will commence debate on the general principles of a bill seeking the establishment of a legislative security directorate in the National Assembly. The proposed legislation seeks to, among other things, provide for the qualification and condition of service of the sergeant at arms and other security directorate personnel. Sponsored by the member representing Ikole-Oye Federal Constituency, Ekiti State, Akin Rosimi, the bill was read on the floor of the Green Chamber last week and is now set for debate. Section 3 of the proposed law provides for the status of the sergeant at arms and the qualification for the role. Additionally, a person to be appointed sergeant at arms must not have been convicted of a crime involving dishonesty or fraud in the preceding 10 years, or has not been indicted for discipline or incompetence by the National Assembly, Service Commission, or any government establishment, I beg your pardon. In Section 5, the bill provides that the head of the sergeant at arms shall serve for 4 years, subject to renewal for another 4 years, and no more, while Section 8 of the bill forbids anyone from bringing into the National Assembly persons, firearms, and ammunition except otherwise stated. The head of the sergeant at arms and other staff of the directorate are authorized in Section 9 of the bill to possess or carry firearms and ammunition within the National Assembly complex and its presence, subject to the approval of the President. The National Assembly is also empowered in the bill to establish an armory subject to the approval of the President. 2023 presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, says he remains a principal and bona fide member of the PDP. Atiku's media office described the reports about his rumored plan to leave the PDP as a complete fallacy without any logical basis. In response, Atiku, in a statement by his media office, clarified that he was advocating a strong coalition that would accommodate all opposition parties, including the PDP. Atiku called the claim that he was leaving the PDP false and baseless. People's Democratic Party has again postponed its National Executive Commission meeting, rescheduling it for May 15, 2025. In a statement by PDP National Secretary Sunday Ude Okoye, said the meeting originally slated for March 13 was delayed due to pending zonal, state, local government and ward congresses, as well as the need for further consultations. This marks the 5th time the PDP has rescheduled the 99th NEC meeting, further deepening internal divisions within the party, while the crisis within the PDP has intensified since Umar Damagom assumed office as acting national chairman following the court's removal of Senator Iyorchia Ayu with growing calls for his resignation. During the 98th NEC meeting on April 18, 2024, party leaders failed to resolve several critical issues, and as a result, the crisis has deepened, affecting state and zonal chapters and causing significant divisions within the National Working Committee. In response, the PDP Governors Forum, led by Bauchi State Governor Bala Muhammad, directed the NWC in December 2024 to ensure the NEC meeting was held by February 2025, the latest. Association of Local Governments of Nigeria has taken legal action against the federal government on the implementation of local government autonomy. In a suit at the Federal High Court in Abuja, Algon is demanding the inclusion of local government councils in the Federation Account Allocation Committee, while joined in the suit and as respondents are the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi, Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy Wale Edun, Minister of Budget and National Planning Abubakar Bagudu, and the Accountant General of the Federation. Other respondents are the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission in the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, commercial banks, and the 774 local government councils. Algon's Secretary General Mohammed Abubakar confirmed the suit, saying it was to ensure that local governments receive direct disbursements from the Federation as directed by the Supreme Court. This is coming after, on July 11, 2024, the Supreme Court ordered that local government allocations must be paid directly to them. As requested by the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, in a suit filed at the court. Fagbemi had instituted the lawsuit on behalf of the federal government, seeking to grant full autonomy and direct funding to all 774 local government councils in the country. In a judgment read by Justice Emmanuel Ajim, the Apex Court ruled that states' retention of local government funds is unconstitutional, and in addition, Algon also requested an order restraining the defendant from continuing to disburse funds to the local government through any other agency or without the direct involvement of the local government councils in the process. National Industrial Court in Abuja has declared the compulsory retirement of Flying Officer BANE from the Nigerian Army Force as unlawful. In the certified true copy of the judgment, a violation of the Armed Forces Act 2004 and the Harmonized Terms and Conditions of Service Officers 2007, and the court therefore ordered his immediate reinstatement. The suits, in which NAF, Nigeria Air Council, and the Chief of Air Staff were named as defendants, was brought before the court by any who contended that his compulsory retirement was illegal. Delivering judgment on the case, Justice O.Y. Anuwe said the process leading to Ene's retirement did not conform to military regulations, while the judge ruled that his removal was invalid, void, and of no effect, adding that an employee whose employment was protected by statute and was unlawfully removed was entitled to full reinstatement. The court therefore ordered NAF to reinstate NE to his position without full rank and seniority as if he had never been removed, while the defendants were directed to pay him all arrears of salaries, allowances, and other benefits from the date of his retirement to his reinstatement. Indigenous people of Biafra has cautioned politicians and individuals in the southeastern region against sharing the 250 billion naira appropriated for the newly created Southeast Development Commission, insisting that the funds should be used solely for region's development. A statement issued on Sunday by the spokesperson for the pro-Biafran group, Ima Powerful, IPOB, said the urgent need for developmental projects and intervention programs in the southeast, stating that the funds should be channeled towards the region's progress. Powerful outlined examples of such projects, including the construction and expansion of roads, the rehabilitation of federal hospitals, the establishment of new healthcare facilities, and the building of power plants to provide reliable and affordable electricity. IPOB stressed that all the Commission requires is a safe environment and government to support to achieve its objectives, warning that the people will not accept any misappropriation of the funds through frivolous seminars, conferences, or foreign trips. IPOB also said the success or failure of the SEDC would rest on key Igbo figures, including Senator Orji Uzo Kalu, House of Representatives, Deputy Speaker Dr. Benjamin Kalu, and SEDC Chairman Dr. Emeka Nwogu. World Igbo Youth Council has fixed March 17, 2025 to stage peaceful protests across cities in southeast Abuja and Lagos until an apology is tendered to Igbos over the 1966 coup. Former military head of state, General Ibrahim Babangida, retired, in his recently released book stated that the 1966 was not an Igbo coup. A statement issued on Sunday by the President General, Princess Eberechukwu Dixon, the group called on President Bola Tinubu to extend an unreserved apology to the Igbo nation and provide reparations totaling $10 billion. According to the statement, the demand is not merely a matter of financial restitution, but a necessary acknowledgement of the profound suffering endured by the Igbo people, exacerbated by the loss of approximately 3.8 million lives during the Nigeria-Biafra War from 1966 to 1970. The statement also said that on March 17, 2025, the Igbo youths will counsel with initiate peaceful protests across selected cities in the southeast, as well as in Abuja and Lagos. Nigerian Correctional Service has spent over 3.3 billion naira on feeding aviating trial inmates in the past 2 months. A statement on the website said in early January 2025, the number of awaiting trial inmates stood at 48,932, and by the end of February, this number had risen to 53,254. The increase in the number of inmates, coupled with the feeding allowance per inmate, which was raised by President Bola Tinubu from 750 to 1,125 per day, and has significantly impacted the Nigerian Correctional Service budget. Recently, the Acting Controller General of the NCOS, Sylvester Nwakuche, pledged to tackle the backlog of awaiting trial cases and also announced plans to engage with critical stakeholders, including state chief judges, attorney generals, and the Inspector General of Police to expedite the trial process. The Acting Controller General also stressed the need for collaboration with state executives and judicial authorities to encourage the use of non-custodial measures, such as parole and community service, to reduce the influx of inmates. Now to our business news. Federal government has forgone $576 million in tax revenue under the Road Infrastructure Tax Credit scheme to the National Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited from February to December 2024. The FAAC post-mortem reports said $52.5 million was deducted monthly from the FIRS JV gas company income tax, bringing the total deductions to 577,000 million, rather 604,432.08 kobo by December 2024. According to the report, the deductions remain consistent throughout the period, with the cumulative balance rising from $52.5 million in February to $105 million in March. Nigerian exchange recorded its first gain in March as renewed investor interest drove the market capitalization up by 216 billion naira. Following the day's gain, to the total market capitalization of the equity market now stands at 66.9 trillion naira, and at the close of trading, the all-share index rose by 344.24 points, or 0.32%, to settle at 106,780,72 points. Despite this gain, the index still shows a one-week decline of 0.83%. However, it maintains a four-week increase of 1.28% and a year-to-date gain of 3.74%, indicating overall market stability. The trading session saw a total of 375.7 million shares valued at 10.18 billion naira exchanged in 11,447 deals. This represented a 4% decline in volume and a 10% drop in turnover compared to the previous trading session on Wednesday. A total of 128 stocks participated in the day's trading, with 35 recording gains, 15 declining, and others remaining unchanged. In terms of trading volume, the banking sector dominated activity. The Guaranteed Trust Holding recorded the highest number of shares traded with 49.9 million units exchanged. Access Holdings followed with 43.9 million shares. Zenith Bank and Fidelity 36.5 million and 27.1 million shares respectively. Now to our international news. Democratic Republic of Congo government has offered a reward of $5 million for help arresting 3 leaders of a rebel group which has seized much of the east of the country this year. Colonel Nanga, a former head of DR Congo's Electoral Commission, now leads the Congo River Alliance, which includes the M23 rebel group, and has addressed large rallies in the cities under the group's control. The bounty is also on offer for M23 leaders Sultani Makenga and Bertrand Bisimwa. Last year, the 3 men were prosecuted in absentia by a military court and given death sentences for treason. A reward of $4 million was also offered for the arrest of 2 journalists living in exile, and others the government described as accomplices, and chance of anyone being arrested appears slim. In recent weeks, the army has been no match for the Rwandan-backed rebels, who have captured large parts of the mineral-rich eastern DR Congo, including the region's 2 largest cities, Goma and Bukavu. So, President Felix Tshisekedi has instead focused on trying to build an international pressure for Rwanda to face sanctions for backing the rebels. Pope Francis has issued a statement from his hospital bed thanking medical workers caring for him and others who are unwell. Vatican said the pontiff has been battling pneumonia and bronchitis for more than 3 weeks in a hospital, but has shown a slight improvement in recent days. The Vatican said the Pope had shown a good response to his treatment at Rome's Gemelli Hospital, and for the 4th consecutive Sunday, the Argentine pontiff was not present for his weekly blessing. but the Vatican shared the text he had prepared. Francis spoke of his prolonged hospitalization, during which he had experienced thoughtfulness and service and the tenderness of care, in particular from the doctors and health care workers whom I thank from the bottom of my heart. Syrian leader Ahmed Shara has called for peace after many people were killed in some of the deadliest violence in 13 years of civil war. Pitting loyalists of the post-president Bashar al-Assad against the country's new Islamist rules. The fighting, which a war monitoring group said had already killed at least 1,000 people, mostly civilians, continued for a day in Assad's coastal heartland. According to Syrian security, the pace of the clashes had slowed around the cities of Latakia, Jabla and Banians, while forces stretched surrounding mountainous areas where an estimated 5,000 pro-Assad insurgents who were in hiding. Interim President Shara urged Syrians not to let sectarian tensions that destabilize the country. This is coming after rebels led by Shara's Sunni Islamist Hayat Tahrir al-Shalom group toppled Assad's government in December. Assad fled to Russia, leaving behind some of his closest advisors and supporters, while Shara's group led the appointment of an interim government and took over Syria's armed forces. Assad's overthrow reportedly ended decades of dynastic rule by his family, marked by severe repression and a devastating elderly care services and services for the disabled. Civil Affairs Minister Lu Ziyuan, who disclosed that, said at a news conference during China's annual 2 sessions political gathering, said the move aims to make services more convenient, more accessible, and more standardized. As the workforce shrinks, the government is increasingly turning to technology to drive future economic growth. President Xi Jinping reaffirmed official support for the sector last month when he hosted a rare symposium for private companies, attended by several AI and technology executives. He urged them to show their talents. DeepSeek founder Liang Wenfeng was present at the meeting, along with representatives from leading technology firms such as Tencent, Huawei, and Xiaomi. Arsenal are planning to meet with the agents of Nigeria international striker Victor Osimhen ahead of a potential summer transfer window move from the Napoli player who is currently on loan at Galatasaray. The Gunners are exploring Osimhen as an option to strengthen their attack this summer, though Benjamin Sesko and Victor Gyökeres currently remain higher on their priority list. The record FA Cup winners are in need of a 20-goal per season striker to boost their English Premier League title ambitions, and Osimhen's first fits the profile, having scored 22 goals and provided 5 assists in 28 appearances across all competitions of Galatasaray this season. The 26-year-old Nigerian has a 75 million euros release clause in his contract for the next transfer window, making him a potentially attractive option for clubs seeking elite attacking talent. Manchester United and Paris Saint-Germain will also be there, with 3 teams to watch in the race of Osimhen's signature. And now to our entertainment news. Famous Nigerian singer Ira Star has joined the American film industry, Hollywood. The musician joins the movie industry to star in the film adaptation of Children of Blood and Bone. Ira Star, who has already made a name for herself in the music industry, will act alongside Hollywood all-star cast like Oscar-winning actress Viola Davis. Other Nigerian singers who have also featured in movies include Simi, Yemi Alade, Tiwa Savage, Banky W, and Reminisce, among others. Nollywood actress Destiny Etiko has filed a 100 million naira petition against Queenette. Queenette Hilbert had called out Etiko on social media for allegedly snatching her rich boyfriend and other colleagues' partners. Reacting to the allegations, Etiko, in a petition through her legal representative, gave Queenette 48 hours to retract the alleged defamatory claims and tender a public apology. In a cease and desist letter signed by Chisom Onuga and Sisi, Etiko also demanded the payment of 100 million naira in damages. While sharing the letter on her Instagram page, Etiko denied the accusation, stating that Queenette made the allegations. And that's the global news for tonight. Before we go, another look at the major stories. Morrison Media holds 2025 anniversary celebration. Police arrest killers of Brigadier General Udokwere. Sarab urges Akpabio to reverse Natasha's suspension. NGX records first gain in March with 216 billion naira profits. The Arukungu government offers $5 million bounties to rebel leaders. Arsenal plans talks with Osimhen. Arasta joins Hollywood. I am Francis Neka. Thank you for watching. You can follow us on our social media platforms: Twitter at Atlantic TV Net, Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, Instagram at Atlantic TV Network. Remember, peace and unity are the pathways to progress.
The board, management and staff of Morrison Media Group presents the 2025 anniversary lecture of Atlantic Television Network and Wish 99.5 FM. Theme: Imperative of Private Media in Sustainable Development.
Keynote speaker, Professor Tony Iredia, erudite scholar and broadcast guru. Chairman, Professor